and welcome to another EG Recap. I'm Jack Lindsay, and volume levels are my eternal enemy. And mosquitoes. And time. Do you know mosquitoes have killed more people than people have killed people? I've got two stories for you today, and both of them come from the indie world. We've got a free demo for Aliens Eradication, and one of our writers participated in the Midnight Ghost Hunt Alpha. So let's check this out together. Mr. Irwin writes, I don't have to ask if most of you like Doom. And just real quick, I want to show you the affiliate link on that one, because I think it's pretty cool. Cacodemon bottle opener. Don't tell me you don't want that. I know a lot of people have love for the series, whether it's the classic iterations or the 2016 entry to the franchise. But what about the Aliens franchise? Oh, what about the Aliens franchise? Another glorious day in the Corps. Day in the Corps is like a day on the farm. Every meal's a banquet. Every paycheck a fortune. Every formation a parade. I love the Corps. Aliens has been my favorite movie of all time since I saw it for the first time in second grade. I could damn near recite the whole thing. If you said yes, then you're no stranger to the fact that more often than not, it struggled to find a place for itself in video games. That's true. Now sure, sometimes some real standout entries come along, such as Alien Isolation, or even old school FPS Aliens trilogy. Then we have Colonial Marines. Yeah, that latter game still sings the soul to even think about. Yeah, Alien Isolation was a masterpiece, but it was a love letter to the first film by Ridley Scott, which had just a totally different spirit from the sequel. They're both great. They're both amazing. I just happen to like the second one better. But if you're looking to it's kind of a different experience which one you're looking to capture. And for the first film, Alien Isolation is the peak. You cannot find a more accurate recreation of that spirit than that game. But if you're leaning more toward the action sci-fi than the sci-fi horror of Aliens, well, first of all, there's been a lot more titles based on that, and a lot of them are garbage. You know, I called Aliens Colonial Marines being garbage during the demos, because I remember watching them and thinking, wow, they really, the lighting and the visuals, they really did a good job recreating the colony, Hadley's Hope, and LV-426. But then there was a scene at one point where you get into confrontations with aliens, and one of them dives the player, and the player holds it off with his rifle, like a bar, and the alien's grabbing the gun and going, ah, and he's holding it off and going, ah, and I'm like, okay, you couldn't do that with a chimpanzee. That would be the end of you. So what we've learned here is that the people who claim that they're huge Aliens fans are having this monster in a hand-to-hand scuffle with you where it's less dangerous than a freaking ape. And I was like, that game's gonna be garbage? And what do you know? It turned out to be garbage. Anyway, let's move on with this. So today we're taking a look at the demo for a total conversion mod for GZ Doom/Doom 2 called Aliens Eradication. In truth, it looks like they're actually aiming to be a totally different game built off the back of Doom as a stepping stone. And it's got an incredible Aliens trilogy vibe to it, except it looks to play far better than Trilogy ever did. I think what I'm going to do is read the rest of this, and then let's watch the demo together. The video demonstration provided on the mod page shows us an entirely overhauled experience. It's dark, it reeks of Weyland-Yutani cover-ups, and it's filled with action and suspense in equal measure. Basically, it looks like the film Aliens as a retro FPS, and that's just fine by me. It's fine by me, too. The demo includes 2 maps and access to all 4 different character classes and difficulties. In regards to classes, you have the following to choose from as stated on the mod page. You can be a colonist, which is a survival style class with resource management, minimal starting equipment, lack of armor, and auto turrets. You gotta explore and find weapons and items, lead enemies into traps. You can be a mercenary, where you get auto turrets. Use short controlled bursts with your pulse rifle to conserve ammo. Remember, short controlled bursts. If playing as a Yutani operative, you have to kill all the colonists and mercenaries. That's interesting that the combat synthetic, medkits won't work, find repair stations. So here we see some deviation from the films. Weyland-Yutani, the company in the movies did not, well, in the second movie, it didn't take a direct combat role. It was this kind of sinister, underhanded, I don't know which species is worse, Burke. You don't see them trying to bleep each other over for a god bleep percentage. Had to Shapiro that quote. Nor were there combat synthetics in any of the 3 films. So some major deviations there, but it still could be fun. It looks like all the classes play differently, but am I crazy for thinking out of all of them, the most fun sounds like the colonist class? The idea of trying to arm and armor yourself in the midst of a xenomorph onslaught and then also potentially having to deal with corporate assassins is pretty appealing. It sounds like a rush. The demo is available at this link and includes directions on how to set everything up. Do keep in mind this is only the demo version, but if you're interested, you can keep a close eye on it there. Yeah, so go to the article if you guys are interested in this, and it gives you the link to ModDB. Okay, and you can download it, and all right. Let's check out this trailer together. And hey, mod designer, if you happen to be watching along, I'm gonna give you some feedback right now in real time. Volume down. Maximize that, yeah. So, one difference immediately is he's got his motion tracker is 360 degrees. Okay, 360 degree motion tracker, not like the films, and that's every Aliens-based game, except for maybe like the expansion of AVP2 Primal Hunt, had a 180 degree motion tracker like the film. And that's not just for film accuracy, there's a certain design element in that where your back is exposed, because this is about horror as much as it is action. And it's that you can't. This makes it less scary if you have this omniscient view of movement around you, as opposed to having to pivot. I mean, that's a huge part of, that motion tracker was such a brilliant design by James Cameron. It was an alteration on that scene from the first Alien where they had the grid and Dallas was in the vents and they were watching, and the monster was represented by this singular blip. Dee and you can see Dallas moving, and you see them both moving, and then it just vanishes. And how could that be? So that scene was so cool and so tense. And it starts moving toward him again. This was like a real-time combat version of that, and it had the 180 degree view. And when you're in a game and you only have that, there's a paranoia that engenders, and you have to constantly whirl around, like, okay, there's nothing in front of me, but and it's really fun. It's really cool. The tension of your game is. I would argue that you should take out the full 360 degrees of this motion tracker. So let's just keep it. Good sound. Sounds like it's ripped right from the movie. Facehuggers and drones. You got good lighting for this engine. Looks like good retro representation of Hadley's Hope. I don't know if this music is just for the demo. I hope it is. The trailer. I would not put this music in the game. Throw in little flares. That noise. That sounded like the noise from AVP2 for the underslung grenade launcher on that M4A1 pulse rifle. Yeah. This music is like... That sounds like... Oh, no, see, this is a mistake. No. Look at that. His health is up in the top right-hand corner. Facehuggers don't scratch you. They don't, this should be instant death. I mean, that's what it was in every other AVP game. It just, if it jumps on you, your screen is completely covered by its alien wang, and you're dead. 100 to dead. And because that's like the movies. And that makes them really scary because they're really easy to dispatch, right? Just pop them, and they're gone, especially with like a flamethrower or a smart gun or anything like that. So in some of the previous games, AVP games, 1 and 2, and the more modern one, they're one of the scariest enemies, even though they're so, even they're so easy to take out, because you just hear their little feet tippy tapping on the grates, and you'd think, oh God, no. And you're looking, and the lighting's low, and you're like, where is it to know that it could just jump on you and kill you like that? If they scratch you, they just become like a really low level enemy, just like that's too much of a deviation from the movie. Like, I understand sometimes you have to. There are design elements you have to step away, but this is just, they existed for one purpose, and they just jump on your face, and that's it. You're out. They never ran up and clawed you. So I would definitely recommend making them a one-hit kill, and if you have to make less of them because of that, by all means, I would just don't make them run up and poke people. Okay, here's another. It looks like there's a hit stun on those drones. It looks like if you land even a little bit of damage on them, they're frozen long enough for you to... I mean, that's it. If you land one hit, as long as you have more ammo, they're dead. And that makes them a lot less threatening. Am I seeing that right? Oh, see, no, they didn't even get on his face when they killed him. They just literally clawed him to death. Yeah, he tagged. See, that's good how they swerve at you. That's really good. I don't know if you can code them to come on the walls or the ceilings, if it will let you do that at all. But if you can just tag them and they go, bah! And then you can just keep tagging them, it really makes them a lot less threatening. They should still keep coming when you hit them. This is my feedback, Mr. Designer, from someone who is obsessed with the Aliens franchise. I'm in love with it. It has captured my imagination since I was a wee child, and I love the movies. And it's every time someone attempts, and this cow, that people are going to try to milk this for the rest of my natural life, because it was the father of sci-fi horror, and they only ever seem to get so close. There are things that they draw from the movies, sound effects and aesthetics and things like that, and they do have to sometimes make deviations for design's sake. But a lot of times the deviations, they could be a lot closer. It could be a lot closer to the movie, and it would be improved for being a lot closer to the movie. And there are some tweaks that you could make to make yours a lot closer to the movie, such as face huggers. That should be an instant hit kill, one hit kill, and they just cover your face. Don't let aliens hit stun. I don't recall that happening ever. I guess it was pretty much instant death when those pulse rifle rounds hit the aliens. Anyway, this has certainly been a deviation from the standard format of just telling you guys the news. I just had to nerd out a little bit. Definitely give me your feedback about that. If it's overwhelmingly hated, I will not do it. I'll avoid it in the future. But if you guys don't mind, then, I'll just nerd out from time to time. I have a feeling, though, that at this point, I'm well over 10 minutes, and I don't know if I should try to do the next story, or would that just be too long of a recap? Like, would a 20-minute recap be like, oh my God, Jack, shut up? You guys let me know. I'll make future adjustments based on your feedback for this episode. Don't forget to hit me with those likes, comments, shares, and subscribes. And let's check out on the site some of the ones that you could pop over there and see right now if you wanted to. Top 5 Castlevania games. Martin Tony's taking apart another robot. A new game called Kunai, a little indie ninja robot game. A new action RPG, Unsouled, has been announced. Dragon Ball FighterZ crossing over into Xenoverse 2. Red Dead Redemption 2 on PC is beautiful. Maybe Star Wars Rogue Squadron fan remake gets shot down. All of it over waiting for you on exclusively games. You know you want to go and check it out. You know you want to go there and read. The clicks are helpful for us. So if any of that strikes your fancy, definitely give it a look-see. And even if it doesn't, just click on the site. And I'll have another story for you today. Hopefully a few stories. I don't get sidetracked by my own nerdiness. But until next time.